In The Witcher 3, embark on a fantasy adventure unlike any other. Unlike Divinity Original Sin or Baldur's Gate 3, it offers a unique journey. While it shares elements with Inquisition, notably steamy romance, its immersive world sets it apart. The game's length, especially with expansions, is remarkable. With Netflix's adaptations of the books and spin-offs, now's the time to delve into the life of a Witcher facing monsters and prejudice. Remember Roach, the trusty steed? Now, you can even ride atop rooftops. Although not recommended, for legal reasons and safety, it adds a thrilling dimension to the experience. Somehow managing to achieve the possible yet again, Resident Evil 4 Remake not only lives up to the legacy of the beloved Resident Evil 4 2005 original, but exceeds it in several major ways, from gameplay mechanics to story cohesion to boss fights and set pieces. While this list is full of excellent titles, none show the sheer impressiveness of the Steam Deck quite like Resident Evil 4 Remake, with it running very well on the handheld. The Last of Us Remastered's remake leverages the console's power for enhanced visuals and performance, featuring detailed graphics, rebuilt animations, and innovative use of the DualSense controller's haptic feedback. Despite lacking the original's multiplayer mode, it's considered the definitive way for solo players to experience the game, offering a variety of accessibility options. However, there's a question of the necessity of a remake for a game that was already impressive on previous hardware, though it remains a must-play experience for fans. We're still waiting for Hollow Knight, Silksong, the much-anticipated, to put it lightly, sequel to Team Cherry's gorgeous Metroidvania masterpiece, but luckily the original plays like a dream on the Steam Deck and, like a lot of the games in this list, feels like it was designed for handheld play. As you explore the meticulously detailed insect kingdom in which Hollow Knight takes place, you're going to die a lot, but as with any deliberately difficult game, success feels all the sweeter when it does come, and the ability to take this one everywhere with you makes gradual progress more realistic. I'll confess, I've spent hours using Final Fantasy XV for hardware benchmarking, but had never sat down to properly play until trying it out on the Steam Deck. And it's great, the controls adapt perfectly, and medium video settings deliver fine frame rates without knackering quality. High is playable too, though you'll be dipping close to 30 frames per second at points. Street Fighter VI impresses with its 18-character roster, blending new and familiar faces and a captivating art style. Its online battle hub sets a new standard for fighting game lobbies, complemented by comprehensive training tools. The drive system introduces 5 powerful abilities, adding depth to gameplay without the need to build up meter. While not flawless, Street Fighter VI delivers where it matters most, solidifying its position as a standout title in the series. Portal 2 was one of the first games Valve showed running on the Steam Deck, and it's clear why. It runs smoothly, doesn't need a mouse and keyboard, and is even one of the least demanding games I've tried in terms of battery life drain. Most 3D games tend to quaff a full charge in around 2 hours, half of the 4 that Portal 2 took. It's also a successful showcase of the device's rear buttons, which let you jump or crouch without taking your portal aiming thumb off the right stick. Among the plethora of roguelikes on Steam, Dead Cells stands out for its enduring popularity. Released in early access in 2017, the developers have continuously updated the game with new content and features, keeping it fresh. As a roguevania, Dead Cells cleverly combines elements of Metroidvania and roguelike genres. Players control the prisoner, navigating an island infested with monsters. With randomly generated dungeons and biomes, players collect weapons and loot to survive each run. While death is frequent, the game offers plenty of enjoyment along the way. For those seeking an evolving experience, Dead Cells is a solid choice for the Steam Deck. Rocket League received an initial rating of 8.0 for its accessibility, fast-paced gameplay, and various game modes across different platforms. Despite occasional server issues, the game's simple yet engaging concept captivated players, drawing them back for more matches. Over the years, with numerous updates and the addition of new features and platforms, Rocket League has continued to improve. Psyonix's unique blend of rocket-powered cars and sports has evolved, maintaining its appeal and longevity among players. Now, this might be a bit of a controversial pick, and it has nothing to do with the quality of 2016's Doom. It is a contender for the greatest FPS of the last decade and a must-play for fans of classic run-and-gun shooters that dominated the 90s. However, PC owners are probably used to playing shooters with a keyboard and mouse, so the Steam Deck's gamepad might hinder Doom for some people. That said, compared to some other FPSs, Doom is a bit more forgiving in terms of accuracy. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim Special Edition boasts enhanced graphics and performance, though it doesn't quite meet modern standards. While the Nordic landscapes are visually appealing, the upgrade may not impress returning players seeking significant improvements. However, it addresses issues present in previous console versions, like long load times and graphical inconsistencies. Including all major DLC expansions, it offers a complete experience. Overall, while it enhances visuals and performance, it doesn't provide a wholly fresh and modernized experience. For CRPG enthusiasts eyeing the Steam Deck, Divinity Original Sin 2 stands out as a top choice, especially for fans of Baldur's Gate 3. Despite CRPGs typically being best suited for PC play, the Steam Deck's trackpads provide a surprisingly excellent experience. In Divinity Original Sin 2, players immerse themselves in an outstanding RPG with a vast narrative and flexible combat system. The game offers numerous possibilities and paths to explore, keeping players engrossed for hours. Performance-wise, achieving a minimum of 40 frames per second with respectable battery life is very feasible. Overall, Divinity Original Sin 2 is one of the best games to play on the Steam Deck in 2023. Moon Studios' masterpiece of a Metroidvania remains one of the very best first-party Xbox games, but it arguably suits handheld play even more. And if you have a Steam Deck OLED, it's simply a must-play given that Ori and the Will of the Wisps is the ultimate showcase for its HDR display. The varied and vibrant areas that Ori visits on their adventure absolutely pop on the 7.4 inches OLED panel. And you really feel the benefit of the 90Hz refresh rate during the frantic escape sequences that are some of the best moments of the game. Will of the Wisps is often bundled with its also brilliant predecessor, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Steam sales, and both games are absolutely worth playing through in their entirety on either deck. Another formerly PlayStation exclusive title making waves on the Steam Deck is Marvel's Spider-Man, following the success of God of War. Despite initial concerns about performance, the PC remaster of this beloved game surprisingly runs well on the handheld device. With near solid 30 frames per second performance on default medium settings, players can swing through Manhattan with ease. While desktop and PS5 players may enjoy better visuals and frame rates, the experience of playing on the handheld, even while sitting on the toilet, is truly remarkable. Considering a full replay on the deck is tempting, albeit preferably near a plug socket for extended play. It's surprising that it took so long for a game about climbing a mountain to emerge, given the activity's nature. Celeste, while not the most realistic portrayal, offers tight gameplay and an incredible story. Players assumed the role of Madeline, a determined young woman intent on scaling Celeste Mountain despite opposition. The mountain's peculiarities add to the challenge, but Madeline's greatest obstacle is the embodiment of her anxiety and self-doubt, taunting her throughout the ascent. Sid Meier's Civilization VI continues the esteemed tradition of the 4X strategy series, allowing players to guide a nation from humble origins to global supremacy. While maintaining its familiar premise, Civilization VI introduces clever improvements, enriching its depth and immersion. Its vibrant art style and dynamic music enhance the engaging atmosphere. With intricate systems such as trade, religion, espionage, great people, and more, players have diverse options for nation building and victory. These systems are integrated seamlessly, ensuring a cohesive gameplay experience. Overall, Civilization VI is a well-developed installment in the series, offering the depth and complexity expected of a Civilization game that has evolved over 2 expansions. Dark Souls 3 immerses players in a world on the brink of apocalypse, offering punishing obstacles alongside enticing exploration and secrets. Despite occasional frame rate issues and lackluster boss fights, its expansive scale and rich lore development elevate it as the grandest installment in the series. The Kingdom of Lothric and its surroundings feature visually stunning locations, though some ideas may feel recycled. From the crumbling stronghold of the High Wall to the eerie dungeons of Irithyll, each environment is intricately detailed and immersive. Despite its challenges, the game's captivating world and strong sense of place continually draw players deeper into its haunting landscapes and lore. In a year filled with major releases, Hogwarts Legacy emerged as one of the standout titles. Despite some shortcomings, Avalanche Software's 2023 game showcases the Harry Potter franchise's vast potential for gaming excellence. Set a century before the events of the novels, Hogwarts Legacy allows players to experience the magic of enrolling in the iconic wizarding school. While the story and magic-based combat are satisfactory, the game's main draw is its immersive portrayal of Hogwarts. Avalanche has skillfully brought the school to life, allowing players unprecedented freedom to explore its halls and grounds. Although the open world outside of Hogwarts feels somewhat generic, areas directly from the novels and movies consistently impress. Terraria has more than proven its staying power over the last decade. The indie game cuts players loose in a procedurally generated world, providing them with only a bit of direction to get them going. Within the sandbox, players can dig downwards to find resources that they can use to craft structures and items. Set in a shockingly huge world, Terraria is absolutely stacked with content that rewards exploration and dedication. Quests, special items, and bosses await people who are willing to embrace this game's depth. Hi-Fi Rush is optimized for gamepad controls, making it an ideal fit for the Steam Deck. Its performance is smooth, with medium quality running at nearly constant 60 frames per second and high quality maintaining at least 45 frames per second. Regardless of the platform, I highly recommend Tango Gameworks' Surprise Rhythm Action /hack-and-slash/platformer hybrid. It's a humorous and satisfying brawler with creative boss fights, and its final act features one of the best combat encounters in an action game. Its compatibility with the Steam Deck makes it even more appealing, making me one very happy wannabe rockstar. Slay the Spire combines an array of genres to create a package with no true peers on Steam, which is saying something. The roguelike sets players on randomly generated paths as they work their way through Spire's levels, taking on enemies and bosses along the way. Before a run, players pick from a range of classes that each come with unique starting decks, and the cards contained within are used during battles. After each win, players earn new cards that could be randomly drawn in future encounters, meaning there is a constant sense of progression. Slay the Spire is addictive, polished, and charming. Stardo Valley, the premier farming sim, feels right at home on the Steam Deck, offering portability for players to engage with their farm at their convenience. Whether you prefer quick sessions or extended gameplay, the Steam Deck accommodates both. As a new citizen inheriting a farm, players start with basic tools and a can-do attitude. With hard work and support from the town, they transform the farm into a thriving community hub, with the option to resist the influence of the Joja Corporation. The Steam Deck provides the flexibility to play Stardew Valley however you choose. An example of an excellent sequel, Risk of Rain 2 expands everything that worked about its predecessor while also shifting to a third-person perspective. The roguelite drops players onto an alien world and tells them to survive as they fight enemies, become stronger, and locate teleporters to move on to the next level. Travis Northup reflects on Grounded's journey from early access to its 1.0 launch, pleasantly surprised by its successful execution of the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids survival concept. Despite some bugs, Northup enjoyed over 100 hours of gameplay, praising its creativity and humor. Grounded seamlessly combines survival and RPG elements, with players scavenging, crafting, building, battling bugs, and exploring dungeons. Character progression, enemy weaknesses, boss fights, and NPC interactions enhance the RPG experience. While story development primarily relies on audio recordings and gameplay, Grounded strikes a balance between solitude and quirky encounters. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, while drawing inspiration from Software's Souls and Bloodborne series, establishes itself as a unique stealth action experience. Despite its renowned difficulty, Sekiro offers a more focused and forgiving approach, featuring familiar timing-based combat and intricately designed levels. Sculptor's idols act as checkpoints, allowing for respite and character progression. The game's linear paths and frequent checkpoints reduce anxiety, enabling players to explore and experiment with mechanics. This balance between challenge and empowerment sets Sekiro apart, offering a refreshing take on the genre while preserving From Software's signature style. Studio MDHR's hard-as-nails 2D platformer may cause you to throw that sought-after Steam Deck straight out of the nearest window, but it's a risk worth considering to play the game in handheld form, where you can chip away at the challenging boss battles whenever you have a free 5 minutes. The game's retro cartoon visuals are as stunning to behold now as they were when the game first came out in 2017, and really pop on the Steam Deck's display. This year's The Delicious Last Course DLC adds a new island and new foes, but its most significant contribution to the Cuphead experience is Miss Chalice, a new playable character whose alternative moveset and additional health point arguably make both the base game and the new levels a bit more forgiving. It took more than a decade to manifest, but Capcom eventually blessed the world with another proper Devil May Cry game, and the sequel was well worth the wait. DMC5 features 3 distinct playable characters, a contender for the best combat system in any hack-and-slash game ever, and Dante using a bike as a weapon. What more could anybody ask for? DMC5 is all about the gameplay. The stages primarily consist of linear corridors that funnel players to the next encounter where they can show off their abilities. This gives the game a pick-up-and-play feel, particularly once the campaign is cleared for the first time. Ghostrunner stands out as a ninja-centric video game, offering players the fantasy of being a lightning-fast and lethal assassin. Its fast-paced gameplay emphasizes running, sliding, and dispatching enemies with precision. Despite its difficulty, the game minimizes frustration with instant respawns and frequent checkpoints. Set in a cyberpunk-themed post-apocalyptic world, the story follows a cybernetically enhanced swordsman guided by the architect as he navigates a power struggle and seeks his identity. While the storyline is predictable, it's well told and complements the game's fast pace. Dialogue seamlessly integrates into gameplay, giving players the choice to engage with the narrative or focus solely on the challenging parkour and combat. The roguelike that's so nice, they're making a second one. Hades might have overtaken Dead Cells when it comes to being the most successful roguelike in a genre that's becoming more and more crowded. Supergiant's dungeon crawling roguelike has become such a massive hit since its early access release back in 2019, but if you haven't played this groundbreaking game yet, the Steam Deck is the perfect time to get started. Despite being called Hades, the whole game is about escaping from the clutches of the Greek god of the underworld. Instead, you control Zagreus, Hades' son who's grown tired with the administrative life of the underworld. Also, he wants to find his mom who's living on the surface world. Unfortunately for Zag, Hades throws the full weight of his forces at Zagreus, and in order to get strong enough to succeed, you'll need to be ready to die over and over again. Capcom has effectively ensured its major releases are compatible with the Steam Deck, including Monster Hunter World and Rise. While both are excellent in their own right, newcomers might find it challenging to choose between them due to their differences. Monster Hunter Rise offers a more casual experience, with a short campaign acting as a tutorial before diving into addictive hub quests. Its solid performance on the Steam Deck, despite launching on the Nintendo Switch, is unsurprising, catering well to handheld systems. On the other hand, Monster Hunter World, although older, boasts superior visuals, designed for home consoles and PC. Its expansive zones offer ample exploration, with options to streamline traversal. The base content provides more depth compared to Rise, with a higher challenge level. Additionally, World's Iceborne expansion elevates the experience even further. Overall, both titles offer fantastic gameplay experiences, with Rise's Sunbreak expansion being equally impressive. In The Binding of Isaac: Rebirth, permanent character death is both punishing and an opportunity for new experiences. Despite its challenging bullet hell difficulty, the game continuously offers fresh content, ensuring gameplay remains engaging even after extensive playtime. Playing as the traumatized Isaac, players navigate randomized dungeons reminiscent of The Legend of Zelda, using tear projectiles affected by momentum for precise shots. What sets the game apart is its ever-changing nature, with each playthrough drastically altering Isaac's abilities through collected items. These enhancements can make Isaac powerful, but the risk of losing everything upon death keeps the stakes high. Despite its punishing difficulty, The Binding of Isaac: Rebirth keeps players hooked with its variety of challenges, rewards, and visually distinctive style. Subscribe if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, as that really helps a lot. If you think any game is missing or if you're planning to play any of these games, don't forget to leave a comment. Those were the top 30 best games Steam Deck. This has been another video from New Quest Play, and I'll be here waiting for you for the next quest.